Hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, yes, Deepak, I'm able to see your screen.
So today we are going to discuss about earlier decision reports. Okay.
Mm,
ADR. ADR.
mm,
So but you okay, let's say we are working on any project and as we learn till date, there are a lot of things we need to consider. Am I right?
mm,
And a lot of options available with us.
mm,
If there is a lot of things are there and lot of options are there, am I right?
mm, mm,
So means in the future maybe someone asks, hey, why you will adopt that? Am I right?
mm,
Why you guys are adopt that? Why what
mm,
you why you not select another option?
mm,
Am I right?
mm,
Why this is only you can say and what thing you did there?
mm,
Means this kind of question means raised and concern about higher management or stakeholders or anyone or means teammates who need to work on these.
mm,
Uh, then means if you don't have that document where you capture all these things, am I right?
mm,
Then how you are able to answer? Then you are not credible. Then you are not able to prove your credibility. Am I right? So this architecture decision reports
mm,
are required.
mm.
You understand my point?
Yes.
So get the answer of this. What are the trade of
Mm,
this? And apart from
mm,
that means when we are doing this,
mm,
then when we are recording this decision, there should be some standard format should be there.
mm,
Am I right?
mm,
So that means rather than capturing, you can say lot of information, whatever required informations are needed, that should be captured. And means this not a new concept, and
mm,
a lot of people are using this. So based on their experience, they come up with a some means a predefined template which you can use. You
mm,
understand the point? Like
mm,
in a predefined template, they are considering you can say title, contest, status, review date, and you can say this. It can be you can say uh, means trade-offs are there, and another options are also there which we can consider. So that
mm,
means let's say we want to communicate, hey, this decision, whatever we take, we'll take this based on a this assumption. If things are changed, then this decision may be also changed. Am I right?
mm,
And the status also matter here. So in a status, we will talk about this means proposed. Means
mm,
you are not clear about the thing, but as per your understand, uh, this is a best option. So rather than mentioning you approved that or you are good with that, you will go with for proposal. Hey, I am proposing this as per
mm,
my understanding. So
mm,
that you are giving a scope to the others.
mm,
Hey, if you have a different opinion and you have a different experience, you can come up with a you
mm,
can suggest me a other thing. You
mm,
understand the point?
mm,
And in that manner, you are just not taking a full responsibility.
mm.
You are just saying that, am I right? Hey, this is
Yeah.
the option, and I am going with. I want to go with that.
Mm,
And then means reject approve or reject state is there.
mm.
You understand my point?
Correct. Mm,
And then you can say another states available with us. You can say this is deprecated, and means if with the whatever you write their status,
mm,
maybe that can be changed in a new this
mm,
architecture decision report. Okay,
mm,
then that's a superseded.
mm,
That will be changed in a future when new you can say document come in a picture.
mm,
So these things are means these things is required. But if we
mm,
talk about, you can say it cannot be. This is a, as its name suggests, it will tell us the decision why we took that decision. Am I
mm,
right?
mm,
So for simple changes or code implementation or for bug
mm,
fixing, you cannot maintain this.
mm,
The scope of this is totally different.
mm.
You understand my point?
Yeah.
And apart from that means if think of if you don't have this, makes sense.
Mm, mm,
And tomorrow someone asks you why you will choose that?
mm,
Why? Who is a reviewer? Who
mm,
is who is owner of this? Who will take a decision? Who
mm,
will approve this? If you don't have this, you cannot, or you can say
mm,
proceed.
mm.
You understand my point?
Yes.
So this is a most important topic which you, because earlier whatever we discussed is for our, you can say, thinking, means
Mm,
what we need to consider, what we don't need to consider, what are the options are available. But
mm,
this is for communicating, clearly communicating with the others.
mm,
Okay, so that they can come on a same page why this decision made. Am I right?
mm.
So we will, with this mindset, let's please go this theory part. And if you,
Yeah.
wherever I require, you can say some clarity, I will means add there and interrupt you there. Or if you have any question, feel free to ask. Okay.
Sure, Deepak. Thank you. Okay.
Let me
So,
increase the font.
yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah. Thank you. So, the module 14.1 writing architecture decision record, that is ADR, architecture decision record. Okay. The goal of this ADR is to understand how to document important architecture decisions clearly, as you said. So we are capturing the architectural decisions here so that terms can understand what was decided. So teams, sorry, so that the teams can understand what was decided, why it was decided, what alternatives were considered, and what trade-off were accepted. So mainly on the architectural front. So an architect is not only responsible for decisions designing systems, an architecture is also responsible for creating clarity, alignment, and decision history. Yeah. What is an architecture decision record? ADR. An architecture decision record, commonly called an ADR, is a short structured document used to record an important architecture decisions. Okay, it explains what decision was made, why the decision was needed, what problem was being solved, what options were considered, why one option was selected, what trade-offs were accepted, what risk and consequence exist, who wants or approved the decisions. So all these things it will be captured in the ADR. Okay, in plain English meaning, an ADR is a decision diary for architecture. It helps future teams understands. So yeah, whoever comes, they will understand about the history of all these decisions, right?
Yes.
So background of all this decision. Why did we design the system in this way? Why didn't we design in some other way? They think so. Mainly they will understand the why part with this, right?
Yes. Yes.
Without an ADR, people only see the final architecture. If we don't have the ADR, then they will have only the final architecture. So they may be, for example, if they use Azure cloud, so people who comes like in the teams, future teams, new members who joins, or any like usually projects will change from organization to organization, right? Like some 5 years some organization will work, then in the bidding it will go to some other organization, so they will not be able to understand why they built this way, right? So
Yes,
why go to AWS instead of Azure?
yes.
So they don't understand the reasoning behind it. So mainly to understand the reason, the background of the decisions, architectural decisions, it will help.
Means
Okay.
basically, you can say contest.
Context, yes, context of the decisions. And why do we need ADRs? Definitely, like without ADR, we will not be able to understand the context or the background of those decisions. So that's what I think they are going to discuss here. So architecture decisions affect system for months or year. So architecture decisions, basically not one day or 2 day. It have an impact more in the longer run, right? So it will take more time. So, for example, choosing microservices instead of monolith. So, why they have chosen microservices instead of monolith, having a one single uh, application rather than dividing the services into different. So that's microservice. So why they have chosen that, and why they have chosen Kafka instead of direct API calls, and the reason behind choosing Lakehouse instead of the data warehouse, and also like why did they choose data lake instead of Apache Iceberg, and choosing event driven architecture instead of batch only integrations, and choosing one cloud provider or managed service. So all these answers we can get in the ADR. So if these decisions are not documented, teams face problems later. Yeah. Problems without ADRs. Let's see. Like teams repeat the same decision again and again. Yeah. So they might end up taking the same decision again and again. And new engineers do not understand past decisions. Yeah. Stakeholders forget why a decision was made. Maybe if there are different stakeholders, maybe the business team and the development team or the IT team. So they, if they have taken that decision, so there might be a chance that they might miss. So it's better to capture and keep it.
No,
So
there is no means your chance they will forget after some time because
mm,
they need to take care of another things as well, Ambaji.
yeah, yeah,
So as a human being tendency, you don't
mm,
have a means you have a limited memory, man.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
have a limited memory, you can just take care of something.
Mm, mm,
Am I right?
correct.
So
So
that's why
the
it should be
document.
captured.
Mm,
Yes.
mm, correct. And trade-offs are hidden. Trade-offs are hidden. If we don't have the, yeah. So why this decision took? Why they have not chosen Azure in the place of AWS? What was the reason? What trade-off they have?
What you
Uh,
understand from trade-off?
correct.
What you
Yeah.
understand?
Sorry.
What you understand from trade-off?
Trade-off is like compromising cost and performance, and then there is another
No,
thing.
no, no, no.
Mm,
It's not a trade-off. Trade-off means thing you need to select. You cannot means like cost and performance.
mm,
There is a trade-off between those. Am I right?
mm,
And you can say performance versus this async. This is a trade-off.
mm,
Am I right? If
mm,
you require, you can say performance, then you need to means then you this is a trade-off with the performance. This is a trade-off between your consistency. Am I right?
mm, mm,
So these things you need to take care. Means if you want both things are not possible. You need to decide your priority. That's a
mm,
trade-off.
mm,
Means if you are going with this accuracy, then you need to maintain go with the slow down with the performance. Am I right?
mm, mm,
So why means what trade-off they will decided and why they decided. So
mm,
that if they ask tomorrow, hey, mean now system is reliable but speed is slow. Means speed is slow. So we can say that hey, this is a trade-off which we discussed that time, and you selected this over this.
yes.
You
So
understand?
that, yeah, those decision will be hidden if we don't have ADR. Mm,
Yes, yes, yes.
okay. Okay, let's move to the next point then, Deepak. Okay. Risks are not visible. So if you don't capture, there might be some risk which is not visible. And if you don't have ADR, so architecture becomes based on memory instead of documentation. Yeah, that is true. So it is just becomes a memory instead of documentation. And future changes becomes risky because decisions context is missing. Yeah, so if you wanted to take any decisions in the future, it becomes risky. So the same example what you took, maybe if they want the speed to increase, so but initially they have taken a trade off of the what reliability, yeah,
Correctness.
correctness, yeah, reliable output or idempotency, right? So that time it is risky. So if they try to increase the speed, might be they might need to compromise on this. So the technical trade of those gap will be risky. Yeah. Next is ADR solves this by creating a decision transparency. Yes. So it will, the document is available for everyone, so everyone can understand why this decision was took. So it create a transparency environment. Yeah. Recording alternatives. So ADR also has the alternative ideas, alternative solutions, right? So since the alternative ideas are also captured, it also solves so many problems, right? So and capturing accepted trade-offs. So the same example we can say. So why we have captured what is that? Idempotency over the speed. So and improving stakeholders alignment, so everybody will be in the same page. So otherwise people might start thinking differently. So some people might want to have the performance as a priority thing, and somebody might think idempotency, or somebody want some other things. So this brings ADR solves like everybody is thinking on the same page. And supporting governance and auditability, yeah, so definitely. So trade-off, if we have the decisions captured in an ADR, so if in case if there is any audit happened or governance quality checks or governance like how good it is aligned with the governance policies and principles, so it will give a better uh, mapping mechanism or supporting mechanism with ADR.
Yes,
And helping future teams makes better decisions, this we have discussed, and reducing confusion during architectural reviews, definitely. Next thing, when should we write an ADR? Yeah, so as per me, before reading this, I think we have to start from the day one, maybe. I'm not sure.
no.
Mm,
So as its name suggests,
mm,
you are get decision records. When you
mm,
are taking a decision,
mm,
which database, why
mm,
you are choosing this from
mm,
SQL, NoSQL, and Graph,
mm,
why?
mm,
Right, platform,
mm,
why you are choosing this AWS, Azure, or other.
mm,
Am I right?
mm,
You understand my point?
mm,
And what tool you are going to use? Why?
mm, mm, mm.
You understand
Okay.
my point?
Yeah, yeah.
When you take a particular decision,
That time, yeah. So, okay. Okay. When should we write an ADR? Write an ADR when decision is important, long lasting, or difficult to reverse. Yes, yes, definitely. When it is having a longer impact and it is having difficult to reverse it, so we can't reverse the decision. Yeah. Use ADR for selecting an architecture style, selecting data platform pattern, yeah, which the example you said, and choosing integration pattern. So, what integration pattern we have to use, and choosing database technology, choosing cloud service. Okay. choosing security model, choosing data ownership model, choosing table format, choosing event brokers, choosing deployment strategy, and choosing governance approach. So whenever you're choosing any of these, so we need that, yeah, ADR to be maintained. Do not
Critical,
write it. Yeah,
critical decisions.
yeah. Do not write ADR for very small code level changes. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And temporary experiments. If they are doing any POC, don't do maintain ADR. And simple implementation details like some small screen changes or something you have some small changes if you have done. So that time we don't need the ADR. And decision that can be changed easily. And okay, if any reversible decision, then we should take write the ADR. If any non-reversible, then we should not write. Low impact configuration. Yeah. Next is practical rule. Ask this question: will someone ask why we made this decision 6 months later? If yes, write an ADR. That's the thumb rule.
Yes.
Okay. Fourth one, real life analogy. Imagine a company decided to open a new office in Bangalore instead of Pune. The final decision alone is not enough. Future leaders might ask, why Bangalore? Why not Pune? What factors were considered? What was cost compared? Was talent availability reviewed? What risks were accepted? Who approved the decisions? If no one documented the reasoning, the decision look random. Architecture is similar. If a team chooses Lakehouse, Kafka, microservices, or data mesh, the decision must be explained clearly. ADR is the document that preserves this reasoning. Yes, it's pretty straightforward on that. Next, engineering view. At an engineering level, ADR are part of architecture, governance, and communication. So they are part of architecture governance. Yeah, they are part of architecture, governance, and communication. Okay. An ADR connects business problem, technical context, architecture options, trade-off analysis, final decisions, operational consequence, and future review. Okay. ADR in architecture life cycle. So how this ADR falls in the architectural life cycle? So typical flow. Problem is identified. Then we discuss the various options, followed by trade-off compared. What are the different criterias we have? Then we will make a decision. Followed by when we make the decision, as you said, as soon as we make a decision, and if we think that it is irreversible and it have a longer impact, and the thumb rule, like someone is going to ask down the line why we have taken this decision, that time we'll start writing the ADR. So which will further have the life cycle steps like team will have the good alignment with the ADR, then we have implementation, and finally we can review that later. Why ADR are engineering assets? So as we studied, like ADR are the part of engineers, right? Like this is the core tool for engineers. So why this is called as an engineer asset, that we are going to check now. So ADR helps engineers understand why a pattern was selected, why another pattern was rejected, what constraint existed at that time, what risk must be monitored, what assumptions may change later. Good ADR reduce architectural confusion. Yeah, this is very important actually. So why this is an asset? Because this will reduce the confusion, future confusion, maybe architectural confusions. Okay. Next, ADR structure. How this typical ADR document looks like. A strong ADR usually contains the following sections. Sections like titles, status, context, problem statement, options considered. But why these options? Like title to have a clear names of the decision, right? So what is the title will tell is like the decision taken. Why we have taken the DB? Why we have taken SQL or not non-SQL? So like that, the title it will stay. And the status, like current status of the decision. So as you mentioned, like aborted, selected, so all those decision status we can maintain here in this section. And the context, background or problem situation. So what is the problem and why did we select it? Like maybe the improving the performance or to maintain the good latency. So all those background we need to capture in the context. Then we have the problem statement, what need to be solved. So what we are trying to solve in this context. And options considered, what are the other various options we had. And decisions, why we selected these decisions out of all possible choices. And rationale, and we are mentioning the reason why these options were selected. And what trade-offs we have need to compromise, so benefits and limitations of these decisions. Finally, we also need to have the limitations captured in the consequence section, so which is having the expected impact. And ADR also capture risk, what may go wrong in future, so which will give an heads up to the team. And the migration plan, how risk will be reduced, sorry, mitigation plan, so how we can avoid those mitigate those risks. And who took this decision and who reviewed this, who owner's decision and reviewed it, when to revisit the decision. Okay, review date. Okay, fine, Deepak. ADR status type. So yeah, so as you said, like there are different important status. So proposed is a first status thing. ADR status shows where the decision stands. Okay, the decision is being discussed but not finalized. Accepted. The decision is being discussed but not finalized. Okay. Proposed, accepted, rejected, where the decision has been approved and should be followed. Rejected. An option was considered but not selected. Mm. Next is deprecated. The decision was valid earlier but no longer recommended now. And suppressed. A new ADR has replaced this decision. Mm. Example, status accepted. This means the decision is approved and active. Step by step ADR writing process. Step one, write a clear title. First, as we discussed, what are the atypical structure of an ADR. So first thing is there is title. The title should describe the decision. Good titles. ADR-001. Choose Lakehouse architecture for enterprise analytics. ADR-002. Use Kafka for event-driven order processing. Title 3. ADR-003. Add proper. Add. ADR-03 is adopt data mesh or domain-owned data products. And another title example, ADR-004, use Apache Iceberg as a table format for open lakehouse. Good titles maybe architecture update, date decision, new system design, final decision notes. So all these are poor designs titles. Okay. Next step two is after deciding the step one, the title, then we need to give the context for that. So explain what is happening, include current system situation, business need, technical limitations, stakeholder concerns, existing pain points. So all those things are defined in the context. That is in the step two. Step 3 is define the problem itself. So, what is the problem? Write the problem in simple language. Example like the organization needs a scalable analytics platform that supports trusted reporting, raw data exploration, governance, sorry, governance, and future machine learning workloads. These are the problem statements, good problem statement. List option considered. Okay, do not only mention the selected option, show alternative options also. Examples option 1 traditional data warehouse, data lake, lake house architecture. Okay, next, after providing context and alternate ideas, then the step 5 is compare trade offs. Compare options using important criteria. Criteria may include cost, performance, scalability, governance, security, complexity, team skills, team time to market, vendor lock-in, and maintainability. All these trade-offs we need to explain. What are the other alternate options we had and why we have chosen? Fine. Yeah, comparing options. Seventh one, explain rationale. So the reason why we have selected this option over the available alternate option. So explain why this option was selected. Do not say only because it is modern. Yeah. So always the modern solutions are not the right one. So we have to give the complete justification. Instead, explain it supports raw and curated data. It supports BI and ML. It provides stable reliability through ACID transaction. It reduces duplication between lake and warehouse. It supports future streaming workloads. Yes. So we need to mention all those decisions, the reasons, rationale. After defining that step 8, we need to capture the consequences also. So you're proposing the solution context and also you're proposing the consequences, capturing the consequences also. Every decision creates consequences. Yes, whatever decision we create, it is either can create good or bad consequences in our life also, right? So include both positive and negative consequence. Hmm. So that is the main step. Okay. Step 9, define risk and mitigation. So we need to define all the risk and also the mitigation. Mention risk honestly. Okay. Example risk. The team lack house operational experience. Hmm. So mitigations is start with pilot domain and create platform templates. Okay. Step 10, add review data. Architecture decisions should be revisited when business scales, cost, performance, or performance maturity changes. Okay. Next is ADR template. Use the standard ADR template. ADRs first will be the title, decision title, status. Then we have date. Then there is a context. So in status we have proposed, accepted, rejected. Yeah, we discussed this, deprecated, and Superseded. Superseded. Okay. Then context over. Then problem statement. Explain the problem clearly in business and engineering language. Then options to consider. Option one, name, description, strength, weakness. Option two, option three. Then description, strength, and weakness. Okay. What are the various alternatives we had? And then the decision. Clearly state the selected options. Then describe what benefits are gained and what advantages are accepted, trade-offs. Right. Consequence. Explain the accepted impact on system decisions, teams, cost, operations, and future changes. Okay. Risk, list possible risk, all the possible risk we need to list, and mitigation plan. Then the owners, business owner, technical owner, architecture reviewer. Okay. Then the next review date in future when we need to review this ADR. Okay, fine. Minimal technical examples. ADR for lakehouse architecture. This is for architect lakehouse architecture. Okay. Choose lakehouse architecture. Then state accepted, date, context original. So this is basically example. The
Yes.
context is yeah, okay. Yes, we can think. Want to read this, Deepan?
Sorry.
You want me to you want me to read this?
No, 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 no. Just going
Yeah.
through quickly so that you have idea.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Option two, Delta Lake, and option three, Lake House. Okay, all these three were the alternatives for this.
Yes.
Okay. Can you scroll up little bit? Deepak? Scroll up, yeah. So what we are trying to say, this is uh, okay. Option one is traditional data warehouse were the options. We have data lake. So why we didn't use traditional strength and weaknesses? It's okay. Data warehouse strengths options we had, but what I said strong BI performance, mature governance, good SQL support. The weaknesses less flexible for raw and semi-structured, no ideal for large-scale ML experience can become expensive as raw data volume grows. Yeah, data warehouse has these limitations. Okay. But we also had an option two, which is data lake. So why we didn't choose warehouse? Why we didn't choose data lake? So it's low cost storage, flexible ingestion, supports raw and unstructured data. The weakness is can become unreliable without governance, weak schema enforcement in a unmanaged. BA performance may be inconsistent. Okay. Option three, lake house we had. Strength was supports raw. This is what we have chosen, right?
Means
And
this we means
yeah,
take as an
mm,
option, but we decided this. Why we
mm,
decided this is a decision. Take.
requires platform maturity, governance decision, team training. The decision we will adopt Lakehouse architecture with bronze, silver, and gold layer. Yeah. Rationale. Lakehouse architecture provides the flexibility of a data lake and the reliability of data warehouse. It supports raw data. Okay. Trade-off, we accept higher initial platform complexity in exchange for long-term flexibility, governance, and reduced duplication. Yeah, initially it is higher complexity of using Lakehouse, but later it provides a lot of flexibility. And consequence, team must follow medallion architecture standards. Data quality checks must be added, silver and the gold layer. Data catalog and lineage must be implemented. Team training is required. Risk, poor governance may create data swap behavior. Yeah. And team may misuse raw layer. Compute cost may increase without monitoring. mitigation plan, define data product standards, implement access control and cataloging. Start with pilot domains. Yeah, mitigation plans. Yeah, monitor cost and quality metrics. These are the mitigation. And owners, business owner, head of the okay. Yeah, next review date we have to give some date. And the next example is Kafka over event driven architecture. Mhm.
These are the, you can say,
Mhm.
template. You can refer those.
Okay, this I'll take it offline. Second example, yeah. Start thinking, strategic thinking for ADR. The goal of ADR is not to create paperwork. The goal is to make architectural thinking visible. Okay. Strategic questions before writing ADR. Ask, is this decision hard to reverse? Does this decision affect multiple teams? Does this decision affect cost or scalability? Does this decision affect security or compliance? Will future teams needs to understand the reasoning? Yes, whether the future team needs to know all these things. Yeah. Are there are there multiple reasonable options? Are trade-offs important? Does leaderships needs visibility? Yeah. So to maintain transparency, we need this. If the answer is yes, then write an ADR. Common ADR topics in data architecture. Platform decisions. Data warehouse versus data lake versus lakehouse. Snowflakes versus BigQuery versus Synapse. Databricks versus Open Lakehouse. Data lakes versus Apache Iceberg. Yeah, yeah. Understand. All this were the ADR. Integration decisions. ETL versus ELT. Batch versus streaming. Okay, these are the integration decisions. Okay, okay. And batch versus streaming, Kafka versus API based integration, CDC versus full load, Airflow versus platform native orchestration. Okay, modeling decisions, star schema versus white table, SCD type 1 versus SCD type 2, data vault versus decision modeling, centralized semantic layer versus tool specific metrics. Centralized systematic. Okay. Governance decision, data mesh adoption, data catalog selection, PII masking strategy, and data access model, data contract enforcement, application architecture decisions, monolithic versus microservices, shared database versus database per service, synchronous API versus asynchronous event, CQRS adoption, Saga pattern adoption. Okay. Common mistakes. Mistake one, writing ADR after the decision is forgotten. Right. ADR should be written close to the time of decision making. Yes. Mistake two, only documenting the final decisions. Right. That is should not be the thing. We should also capture the context. Right. A good ADR must introduce options and rejected alternatives. Yes. Mistake three, hiding trade offs. Yeah, every decision has a disadvantage. If trade offs are hidden, the document becomes unrealistic. Yes, we need to have the trade off when we have done the comparison. So it should have that. Okay. And using too much jargon, ADR should be readable by architects, engineers, and stakeholders. So it should be crisp and clear. Yeah. Making area too long. Area should be clear, focused. It is not a 50-page design document. Yeah, correct. Mistake no ownership. If no owners is assigned, the decision becomes difficult to review or update. Mistake. No review dates. Architecture decisions may become outdated as business and technology changes. Yeah. Deep concept you should understand. So decision context. A decision is only understandable when context is clear. Yeah, that is really important. Example, choosing batch processing may look understanded unless the ADR explains that the business only needs daily reporting and wants lower cost. Yes. Reversibility. Some decisions are easy to change, some are not. Hard to reverse decisions need stronger ADRs. Yes. Examples, cloud provider selections, data platform selection, microservice adoption, data ownership model. Yeah, correct. Consequences. Consequences are not only technical, they can affect cost, team structure, hiring needs, training, vendor dependency, operational supports, governance. So these also consequences also we need to think, that is what he's telling, because it involves cost and the team structure, hiring needs. So if we need any new technical skills, for example, in our previous example, Deepak, like if you want to have the lake house and your like if you
Yes.
want to adopt the lake house, but if the team member is not upskilled, so we need to start hiring new members who have
So
those particular
provide
skills.
training or
Yeah,
required training.
yeah, certify them, provide training. Yes. Then architectural memory. ADS created architectural memory. Yes, this means teams can understand why the system evolved in certain decisions. Yeah, it provides the memory, it provides the complete history. Decision quality. So a good decision is not always the most advanced technology. Yes, a good decision is the one that best that best matches business goals. It matches the business goals with current constraints, team capability, long term directions, risk appetite. Okay. Okay. Interview questions is for self reference. Mm. And some practice. Yeah. Mm. Mm.
This is for you.
Architect. Mm. Text diagram. Architecture need problem constraint. Options considered, option ABC, trade-off analysis, cost, scale, and risk. Mm. And decision selected options, and consequences and risk, impact and mitigations, ADR responsibility, decision history. Yeah, okay. So the quick recap is like what you learned is ADR means architecture decision record. Yes, ADR documents important architecture decisions. Yes, ADR explains context, options, decisions, rationale, trade off, risk, and consequences. Yeah. So it gives the context and different options, what is selected, what is not selected, alternate options, all those things it will list out, and decisions, which one we selected and why we selected is in rationale section, and what are the trade-offs we have uh, agreed, and what kind of risk, what mitigations we have planned, all those things will capture, and the consequences. So what are the risk involved, consequences also it will say. Okay, ADR prevent repeated debate. Ah, yeah, this is, so this is very very important actually. So I have seen this, like people were thinking, I mean having the meeting on the same point which we have, which is already discussed, and people were keep having the same meeting on the same idea. For example, in I have observed one of the team, one of the project I was working, like they were thinking why we have taken this column only as the watermark column, why not the other column. So yeah, good. And repeated debates and preserves architectural memory. Yeah, ADR should be written for meaningful, long lasting, and hard to reverse decisions. Yeah, it should, and it should capture all these things. Yeah, good ADRs are clear, honest, structured, and easy to revisit. Yes. Final interview line. An ADR is not documentation for the sake of documentation. Yes, it is architecture memory of system, capturing why a decision was made, what alternatives were rejected, and what trade-offs the organizations accepted. Mm, yes, Deepak.
You understand this?
Yeah, yeah, very much. It's a new, easy topic, but very important.
Yes. Otherwise you cannot defend yourself.
Yes, yes, yes.
And in this manner, you not need to take a full responsibility.
Mm,
Of,
yes.
of responsibility should be
Share,
distributed. I mean,
share. Yes.
and distributed, and you are just responsible for designing, but means other person like
Mm,
team lead or leadership have a means take a responsibility for approval the things,
mm,
because if these things are not there, then everything is
mm,
you are responsible for everything. Then
mm,
what is the use of other teammates? We are
what
responsible for everything.
they were doing at that time when the decision was made, and otherwise blame game things will happen. Yeah. No, no, it's not my decision. It is his decision. Because of him, we decided like this. So yeah.
If you
So
have this document, then you
mm,
can say, hey, this is your side.
agreed. Yeah, this is agreed, reviewed, approved. Right.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mm, yeah, very important document. Very, that is why he was saying it's a very important tool for an architecture or engineer. Yes, it's not just a document. Mm. Will
Yes.
be Word document or Excel, Deepak. Anything I think we can
Yes,
use
yes.
it.
It should be recorded and should be means everyone can understand so that everyone is on the same page.
Mm, mm, okay.
It's a layman document.
Mm,
You understand?
yes.
Because whatever teammates you have, maybe those are not aware of database very well. I mean, like,
Mm,
or tools
mm,
they very well. So you can say conceptual one.
mm, correct.
Not not much theory. That's why they define the template as well. What
Mm,
you need to
mm,
consider, what you need
mm,
not need to consider. And
mm,
for your thinking point of view, means two examples are already given.
correct, correct.
Those are not, you can say too much detail are there. Those are simple ones. So
Lake
that,
house and yeah.
yes, so anyone can understand. You understand my point?
Yes, yes, yes.
Because maybe now your this whole team, some members are not technical.
Mm,
Then they will say, "Hey, you write means you use this language so that we are not able to understand. So it's not our
mm,
fault."
mm, yeah, yeah.
So if you write this in a better manner, then everyone can understand. You
Mm,
can say it's a normal English, not a technical word. So
mm,
understand my point.
correct, correct. Agree. It should be, yeah, it should be written in such a way. It should be approachable or understandable by everyone. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.